I have just a few Trump stories to smush together into one real quick. The first is that now, based on a recent filing or letter, a part of the court process from the Trump side, it's been revealed that 200,000 pages of documents were acquired through the FBI raid of Mar-A-Lago. 200,000 pages. That is incredible, because we knew how many documents, but then now page by page, 200,000. So reading a little bit about this from Newsweek, lawyers for Donald Trump recently claimed the FBI seized around 200,000 pages of documents from his Mar-a-Lago resort during the search for classified materials, a number significantly higher than the 11,000 that they said was previously cited. In a letter to Judge Raymond Dearie filed in the Eastern District Court of New York Wednesday, Trump's legal counsel said that they are struggling to find an outside vendor who can upload and host the documents taken from the former president's Florida home in August because of the sheer volume of documents that were seized from Trump's home in August. Earlier this month, Dearie was appointed to the role of special master, as we've discussed, in order to review the documents in order to determine which ones are protected by attorney-client or executive privilege. The Department of Justice previously revealed that around 11,000 documents were taken from Mar-a-Lago, in addition to dozens of files marked classified and top secret. In their letter to Dearie, Trump's team said that the 11,000 documents totaled 200,000 pages, hindering their attempts to bring in an independent vendor to host the documents so all parties can see them. So you can see, because of the logistical challenge that this magnitude of information to get uploaded is causing, we're now aware, at least from the Trump team's claims, and it seems like in this case it would be to their benefit to tell the truth, it's that amount of documents. Which cracks me up, because whenever they first started making excuses on the right about why it was okay that Trump took these documents, it almost was described as if they just accidentally grabbed a couple boxes they thought were, his personal books, and really they were the documents. Or someone accidentally walked out of there and had a sheet of paper in their back pocket, and that was the one top secret. Obviously, no one said that, but it was that kind of diminishing of the significance of what Trump had his hands on. You don't accidentally load 200,000 pages of documents to Mar-a-Lago after you leave the White House. None of that. No, stop it. That's not a thing, okay? And so it is showing that time and time again, as this investigation continues, each one of the excuses, or at least vibes in which they were trying to paint this whole situation, is being proven to not be true. This is significant. A president taking 200,000 pages of documents when he leaves the White House, some of them top secret. Why was he doing that? Why didn't he turn them over when he was asked? All of those questions are absolutely warranted, and that's what the FBI is trying to figure out. And so, wild stuff that Trump's team is now revealing just how significant this all is. Okay, second piece of Trump news to slap on top of this. Apparently, there's a little bit of friction going on within the Trump team and in between Trump and one of his lawyers who's being sidelined. Take a look.
I want to ask you about Trump has a new addition to his legal team. His name is Chris Kise. Is getting sidelined from Mar-a-Lago documents investigation. He was the big name brought up less than a month ago to really represent Trump on the issue, even negotiated a $3 million payment up front. He may still focus on other Trump investigations, but what is happening with him? Why is he being sidelined?
Well, it's hard to say. Chris Kise is one of the sort of more accomplished lawyers on Trump's legal team. Really, the quality of his lawyering so far has been poor. And I think I'm being sort of generous in even stating it that way. The arguments have been weak. The strategy has been all over the map, and we're seeing it backfire. For example, with the special master, these claims that Trump is making, he declassified documents, documents were planted. The judge now, the special master, is calling him out on it. And part of the dilemma, I think, for any lawyer, whether it's Chris Kise or anyone else, is you cannot make a false statement to a court knowingly. And if you're put in that position as a lawyer, then you have to step off of a case. I don't know that that's happening here, but the fact, and if Chris Kise is in fact being sidelined or somehow minimized, that's not a good sign for Donald Trump and his legal strategy.
Is it Kise or is it that?
So it seems to be the case that Chris Kise, who was formerly one of the head leading lawyers on Trump's team is being sidelined. And what the CNN correspondent is speculating as to why that might be the case is because Trump's defense that he wants to go with is, let's say all the stuff I've been saying on social media. FBI planted documents. I didn't actually take the documents. It was some other transitionary team. I can declassify with my brain, all of these things. And the lawyer knows that I can't go in and blatantly lie. Otherwise, I'll be committing a crime. So there might be a situation where he's getting asked to say things that he can't under oath, or he can't as a lawyer. And so very, very fascinating. And then the third piece of Trump news is another little tidbit from this constant reporting, gushing out of information that Maggie Haberman has been doing. And it's all coming from her new book, Confidence Man, that I think, again, is coming out Tuesday. I'm looking forward to that. About how Trump was super, super angry that an ABC host asked him repeatedly questions about Vladimir Putin. He was angry that George Stephanopoulos had the gall to ask follow-up questions. So here is the excerpt that was obtained by this particular reporter. Quote, Trump summoned an ABC producer into a small area away from the cameras where Trump was surrounded by Secret Service agents and snarled, "That was BS," Haberman reports. The producer, that name, asked which part of the interview he meant. Russia, Trump replied. 8 effing follow-ups. Are you effing kidding me? He thundered. It's like asking me if I beat my wife. You ask me once, I say F no, and we move on. You don't then ask if I hit her with an effing baseball bat or an effing a golf club. That was BS, and you... this is hard to censor. That was BS, and you better effing fix it in the edit. Then Trump called for Stephanopoulos to join them. When Trump mentioned Russia, Stephanopoulos chuckled, saying, I know, my team says I didn't ask you enough about it. Trump exploded. Are you effing kidding me? 18 effing follow-ups. How many different ways do I have to say, I don't know the guy, he said, before eventually stalking off. That is so funny. First off, the fact that he upped the number the second time he brought up 18 follow-ups now is hilarious. But it shows you, and I think this is a trend among a lot of politicians, that they honestly get offended whenever journalists do their job. Because what we should get whenever an individual, a politician especially, in a news interview like this doesn't answer the question completely or doesn't fully tell the truth or whatever it is that you keep pressing as the interviewer. But so often, people on television ask politicians questions. The politicians give some weird, avoidy type answer and get away with it. And so the times in which the journalists or the interviewers, I should say, don't do that, you'll see politicians get really upset and offended. And Trump definitely did that. So there we go. There's a package in one segment of recent Trump news for you.